If trans people bother you more than your country fueling war overseas, then their distraction is working. Let me help you pull the wool from your eyes. The US has spent hundreds of millions of dollars funding anti-trans rhetoric, manufacturing moral panic around our community. Trans people become the threat, a tiny minority easy to sensationalize and lie about, with little institutional power to retaliate. And Mexican immigrants are being cast the same way. Turn into these caricatures labeled invaders, criminals, drug traffickers. An entire population framed not as people, but as a problem to be solved. Meanwhile, the government is spending billions of taxpayer dollars funding war and mass violence abroad. From US-backed genocide in Palestine with plans to take over and own the Gaza Strip, or this week's airstrikes in Venezuela capturing their president and his wife, and taking over the Venezuelan government with no Senate or congressional approval. These are actions that reflect the worst of humanity, a need for power and control by any means and at any cost. And they have stoked and weaponized your fear to pave a clear path for authoritarianism. While the president's language may seem off the cuff and chaotic, it is deeply calculated. They're doing this, they're doing that. Vague accusations and broad claims. Fear without facts. This is how government justifies violence. They dehumanize entire populations, so we're pointing fingers at each other while they wield unchecked power and carry out unnecessary violence that you now believe is the solution to the fear that they planted. This power survives by keeping your focus on the smallest, safest target. Because if you're busy arguing about my existence or the definition of woman, you're not asking why billions of dollars are funding war while people can't afford food, rent, or healthcare. You're not questioning civilian deaths. You're not questioning international law. You're not questioning who profits from it all. Fear keeps your focus narrow, and distraction keeps power safe. Now here we are. 125 anti-trans bills have passed, and hundreds more are still active. Families are being ripped apart, and immigrants are being disappeared, stolen from government buildings while trying to follow the law. Hundreds of thousands have been killed overseas, and the US has control over governments thanks to your money. And I ask you, is your life any better for it? Can you afford groceries now? Can you afford to go to the doctor when you're sick? Are you truly happy or fulfilled? This isn't about trans people. It never was. It's about deciding whose lives are disposable in the fight for power and control, and hoping that you don't notice when the circle gets wider. It's time to stop pointing fingers at the victims of violence and aim our attention to where the harm is actually coming from. It's time to wake up.